let's move on to Astroworld. Travis Scott's Astroworld, it's a massive annual festival. He throws in his hometown of Houston. It's named after his third album, Astroworld. If people don't know who Travis Scott is, he's a rapper. He is the partner of Kylie Jenner, part of the Kardashian family. He is the father of her daughter and another one on the way. And last Friday, November the 5th, at his annual festival, which didn't happen in 2020 because of COVID, but last Friday, 8 people were killed. Another one died yesterday, so it's 9 hundreds. Well, I mean, there was a capacity for 200,000 at the venue. Only 50,000 attended. There were 528 police officers, 755 security guards. We heard things like there was somebody going around injecting people with a syringe. One security guard reported feeling a pain in the neck and receiving it. A mother whose older children were there said that bank dollar notes were being handed out that were laced with drugs that people were taking. It all sounds really, really weird. We know that problems started almost immediately. Travis Scott came on stage at 9 p.m. Before he'd even finished the first song, people were passing out. By 9:12, ambulances were already being called. He himself at one stage paused the concert, but it was really quite insane. I don't know how much you've watched of it, Hugo, but I've watched it pretty much from every angle now. And his performance just continued. And even after an ambulance entered the festival area, which is just like a bottleneck, basically, people were just trapped in this bottleneck. And even after the ambulance entered, which he saw, which his girlfriend Kylie Jenner filmed, he carried on playing. And he didn't just carry on playing, they upped the ante. They brought on Drake. So it was getting even more intense. People were literally under other people's feet, under other people's bodies. Fairly outrageous situation. Obviously an investigation ongoing. Hugo, your thoughts?
I mean, first of all, we've got to send our thoughts to the people who have the families of the friends of people who have died. That's where I'm going to start off, because they died too early. Most were between, I think, 14 and 27 years old. So,
right.
They were too young to die. They shouldn't have died at a concert. Travis Scott has been guilty of this before, and actually, weirdly, it's 3-year interval since 2015. So,
right. Interesting.
2015, he was arrested and charged for crowd rushing at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
In the same year, he encouraged fans to attack a man who took his shoe whilst crowd surfing.
Right.
And said to F him up and spat at him. 2017, in Northern Arkansas, there was crowd rushing again, and he was arrested for the similar thing.
Yeah. Pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct. On the first occasion, pleaded guilty to reckless conduct, and ordered to be court observed. Yeah, you're right. He has a history of this. And
in 2019, in Astroworld again, 3 people were trampled and injured after a crowd rushed to enter the compound. The fact that he has the audacity to go on social media and cry, "Oh, I'm really sad that these people have lost their lives," and all of that. Yeah. It's disgusting behavior. He knows what he's doing, exactly knows. Yeah. You watch the videos and he doesn't care.
No, he encourages it on his Instagram. He's actually actively encouraging people to jump over railings. He's saying rage, all of this stuff. He's literally creating that environment. That is what he's doing. So he's certainly, at some point, he has to be culpable. Also, it emerged that after he was aware of what had taken place, he still went to an after party with Drake. So that kind of stuff just makes you go, what on earth is going on? Yeah. Obviously, so there's lots of different rumors. They're saying there's a drug spiking incident. There have been concerns that there's a possible conflict of interest, as the police department deployed about 500 officers to the concert, and because of the relationship that Travis Scott, a local man, has with the police. So that is, worrying. There were definitely multiple mistakes made. There's already over 150 lawsuits. I mean, some of the survivor testimonies are absolutely awful. People described it as like being in a whirlpool, and where they were just going under. And one said, kids and people falling and people trying to reach up like they're reaching up for you. He said, I really heard people screaming like, help, please help me. And did you see that as well, where a young man and a young woman, both of them on several occasions, went to a camera operator and said, stop, you've got to stop it. And he was like pushing them away.
Someone's died.
Yeah, exactly.
They were saying someone's died, and you know, the cameraman just carried on. I think it's atrocious, and you know, Travis Scott should be, I nearly called him Travis World then. Travis Scott should be banned from performing. I really do think that. I think, you know, once is a mistake, twice is, you know, bad, more than 3 times, and you're starting to see a pattern. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the lawsuits came down on him and charged him for manslaughter. I really wouldn't be surprised, because I think he deserves it. But anyway, it's an ongoing case, so we've got to be
you've got to be careful, of course. Of course we have to be careful, but you know, we can obviously have opinions. And one of my opinions is that it all looked very ritualistic, quite honestly. It actually reminded me in some respects of what had happened when Whitney Houston died, and Clive Davis, head of Arista and sort of a music industry mafiosa, went ahead with his yearly party at the Grammys, and well, 12 floors above, Whitney was dead, as all these artists came in. And it's just so weird why you would do that. Why wouldn't you just stop these things and say no, out of respect to the artists? You don't carry on partying. That's just weird. You don't go to an after party after people have been seriously injured. So yeah, all a bit strange, really. And you know, it's a horror story, frankly. And 9 lives, 9 families whose children, whose aunties, whose uncles, whose brothers, whose sisters did not return on Friday night. I mean, it's, you know, we're talking billions of dollars that is going to be paid out. So yeah, it's all a bit creepy.